What's up guys, George is here and welcome to a new video on this channel, and today I'm gonna show you how to remove, rebuild and reinstall a brake caliper. Okay, now after you have the car jacked and on jack stands, of course, for safety, you want to push the brake pads just a little bit so you can remove the brake caliper. Do not push the pistons back a lot. You want to get a flathead screwdriver or pry bar or something. You just want to push the pads a little bit. Okay, now there's two screws that we want to remove, and in the back, and it's this one, and there's one at the bottom. I think these are 3/4. Just have to remove this one and the one same on the bottom so we can remove the whole brake caliper. And we have to loosen this brake hose because we're replacing it anyway from the top and the bottom, and then we can remove the brake caliper. We want to remove this sensor wire too, like that. Get a drain pan and throw it under so any drips comes out from the brake hose, the pan will catch it. Okay, now we want to remove this wire for the brake sensor. Out of the way. Keep the bolts. Now we want to loosen the brake hose first from the bottom and then from the top. Okay, here we go. It's loose from the bottom. Okay, now we have to remove these two bolts. We don't have to remove them, we just have to loosen them before we remove the bolts in the back, and we remove the whole caliper. We just want to loosen them. So okay, now we need 3/4 socket with a longer big breaker bar so we can loosen the nuts because they're highly torqued. So okay, that's one and that's two. Now we finish up with the ratchet. That's number one. Now you want to hold the caliper because this is the last bolt that holds it in place. Now you want to pull the caliper out. Okay, just like so. And take the brake hose off the top because we loosened it, and remove the nut from this other side. Let's go to the workbench now and see how we rebuild this. Okay, now what I want to do is remove the brake pads. Yeah, take a look at them. Of course, this one has plenty of life left. Take another one off. Just push it from the back. Watch for the sensor if you have one. And I want to finish unscrewing the brake line from here. Alright, just throw it in here in the pan. Okay. Now, why I left the brackets on? Because with the brackets on, you can remove the piston with two screwdrivers without having compressed air. So let me show you how to do that. Okay, so you get two screwdrivers, and there is a lip right at the top of the piston right here. So you're gonna put the screwdrivers under this lip. It's hard to show. Okay, and then push it out. I just want to remove the bleeder valve before I start. Okay, set that to the side, and now it's draining in the pan. That's fine. Okay, now we want to push the piston out against the bracket. That's why I left the bracket. Okay, get your screwdrivers to place and push the piston out. Okay, and the piston is out. And take the caliper for a good cleanup. I don't have a parts washer. I'm gonna use the hose in the garden and I am going to use a wire brush to give this a good clean. That's why it was seizing up from the inside. See, it's all dirty and it's old and rusty, but the piston itself, it's in good shape. So I'm gonna take all these parts to the garden hose and clean the whole thing up with a wire brush. Okay guys, so I have the brake hose over here from Centric, and the rebuild kit is from Centric as well. The rebuild kit was $3. Imagine how much you're saving yourself money just doing it yourself. And the brake hose was $5. Both on Rock Auto were like $8 with shipping, about like the whole thing 11-12 bucks. Imagine how much money you're saving yourself. I encourage you, just do it. Don't worry, you're not gonna get in any troubles as long as you do it carefully. And just watch a couple of videos on YouTube or watch stuff like that, and you will be fine and save yourself a ton of money. So many times in the past I was afraid to tackle such problems in my cars, and I ended up paying a ton of money, $200-300 for such a job. So just do it. And if you break something, you're gonna buy it, you're gonna put it with the other stuff. You're not even gonna pay half what you are gonna pay for labor, even if you break stuff while you're doing it. So just do it. Okay, now what you want to do is get some brake fluid in a cup. Just put a little bit at the bottom. Okay, and throw the rebuild kit in there so it can get lubricated. Not the top one, just the one that goes inside. Just throw it in there, lubricate it very well from all sides, and get it ready. You want to make sure you have clean hands and clean gloves. Okay, now after it's all cleaned up, everything's cleaned up. See, the piston's all nice and shiny now. Now you want to put fresh gloves and keep it as clean as possible. Okay, now you get some brake fluid. Okay, and coat the inside of the inside of the piston that goes into the caliper. Just coat it really good. And coat the inside of the caliper itself. Okay. Now you want to see how the piston sits like freely inside the caliper. You want to turn it until it sits by itself. See? Until it slides in by itself. We didn't put any seals. You see, like that. Now you want to get a Sharpie and mark it. Sharpie, small mark over here on the top, and same at the caliper, just like that. That's enough. And you get the lubricated seal that you have, and you set it inside the edge right there. Let me show you. It needs to be flush from all sides. Perfect. Lubricate the caliper one more time. And the piston. Okay. Okay, so now what you want to do is get the dust boot, put it on the outside of the piston, like that. Okay. And keep the edge a little bit out so it can go in the dust boot area on the caliper. You want to put it inside the caliper like that, and before the caliper sits in place, push the dust boot in place before the caliper. You can work it out with a flat screwdriver all around before you want to push the piston in, like that, just like that, all around. Be careful, just work the whole thing in and then you push the piston. Now after the dust boot is all seated all around, you can grab a channel locks or vise and push the piston in. Alright guys, that was it. I did not want to make the video too long for you. Just put everything back together how you took it apart and put some thread lock on the bolts that you took off. And that was it. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. If it was helpful, consider subscribing. I upload such repair videos every week or so. So I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.